Hey guys, welcome to day 2 of our Staying the Course series. Today we're going to be talking about staying the course in the season that you're in. You might feel like you're not in a place in your life where you want to be or where you should be. It's really easy for us to look around at everyone else in our life and feel disappointed or frustrated that we're not where they are and we're not where we're supposed to be. But when we trust God and that He has a good purpose for our lives, we can know that sometimes He places us in seasons where we just have to stay the course and push through, and He's going to do something from that place. We have to keep going whenever He's planted us somewhere. In Colossians 3:23, it says, "Whatever you do, work at it with your whole heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ that you are serving." Whatever we're doing and wherever we are, let us give our whole heart. Jesus became lowly. He came as a Son of God from heaven and lived His whole life serving others. That might not look like He was in the right season, but God had Him doing exactly what He was doing for a beautiful purpose, as we can see on the other side of it. How can you give your whole heart in the season that you're in right now? Our recognition is not for man or for earthly pleasures. Jesus was not asking for earthly recognition. He already knew He had the love of God, and He was following Him. And so when we know that God has had His eyes on us from the very beginning, we don't live for earthly recognition, but we live for Him and for the plans that He has for us. So today, while you're on your mat, I invite you to examine your heart. Do you feel like you're in the wrong season right now or not where you're supposed to be? And I encourage you to push through and stay the course with where God has you in your life and see what amazing things He does from it. So with that, grab your mat and your water and let's get started. Alright friends, let's get started today for our practice in a Shavasana pose, laying flat on our back, closing the eyes, and coming heavy into the mat. Just starting off our practice with some stillness and breath all together. So go ahead and open mouth, exhale, release through the mouth. And then take a deep breath in through the nose, filling up the chest and belly. Open mouth, exhale it out. Let's take that 2 more times together. Inhale through the nose. And open mouth, exhale, release. Last time, deep breath in, filling up all the way to the top. And open mouth, exhale it out. Slowly draw the knees into the chest, giving them a tight hug, opening up through the lower back, and maybe taking a slight rock from side to side, massaging out the back if that feels good. Inhale and exhale. And then slowly let the knees fall to the right side. Open up the arms to a T and bring the gaze over to the left. Finding a twist here on our backs. Opening up through the chest, through the hips and the lower back. Inhale and exhale. Maybe it feels good to extend through the legs, coming a little deeper in this twist or staying with the knees bent. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale, coming deeper, coming heavier. And last breath on this side. Inhale and exhale. Slowly draw the knees back into the chest, and then slowly let them fall over to the left, and the gaze comes to the right. Again, keeping those arms out to a T. Inhale in your twist. Open mouth, exhale. Letting those legs come a little bit deeper and heavier, maybe extending through the feet. Inhale and exhale. Great job. Slowly bring the knees back into the chest, and then extend the toes all the way down the mat. Fingertips reach high above the head, and we're going to take a long body stretch. Inhaling, extending through the fingers and the toes. Open mouth, exhale it out. One more deep breath. Inhale, really reaching. And exhale, roll on to one side of the body, coming into a fetal posture. Resting the head on the bicep, and the other hand just gently plants into the mat. Close the eyes, and let's take a moment to breathe here in this posture. Inhale and exhale. One more deep breath in, and exhale. Slowly press through that hand. Come up into a simple seated posture on your mat, crossing at the ankles, hands coming onto the knees, rooting through the sits bones and sitting up tall through the spine, reaching through the crown of the head. Inhale, draw the shoulders high towards the ears, and exhale, drop the shoulders back down, taking some slow shoulder rolls, opening up the chest and through the upper back. And then reversing those rolls, coming forward. Inhale and exhale. Great job. One more deep breath in, and exhale back to center. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, slowly release the chin down into the chest and begin to roll out the neck to the right side, gently opening up through each side of the neck. Inhale, creating space. Exhale, releasing any tightness found here in the neck. And when you're ready, reverse those rolls. Go the opposite direction, taking your time here with the neck rolls. Inhale and exhale. Slowly come back to center. Release the feet out to a V in front of you. And inhale, reach the fingertips high. Exhale, drop the right hand down onto the leg and reach over with the left fingertips, getting a side stretch. So keeping that left hand planted into the mat, we're just using the upper body to open up and stretch here. Inhale, slightly pull the left shoulder back, opening up the chest. Exhale, reach just a little bit further. One more deep breath in, and exhale, swing the fingertips coming into the middle of the mat and begin to fold down between the legs, maybe staying on the hands or maybe coming to the elbows. Close the eyes and breathe into this fold. Really starting to open up through the hips and opening up through the lower back. Inhale and exhale. Slowly walk the hands back into the body. Inhale, reach the fingertips high. And exhale, drop the left hand down and get that side stretch on the opposite side, opening up the right side of the body. Inhale, slightly pull that right shoulder back, open up the chest, and exhale, reach. One more deep breath in, and exhale, swing the fingertips to the middle of the mat, and slowly walk the hands into your fold, wherever is comfortable for you today. Close the eyes and breathe here. Thinking about keeping the toes towards the sky, not turning the knees in, but just using the hips to fold. Inhale and exhale. One more deep breath in. And exhale, walk the hands back into the center of the body. Bring the feet down to the center of the mat and find a staff pose. Hands rested beside the hips, sitting up tall. Inhale, reach the fingertips high. And exhale, slowly begin to fold at the hips, reaching the fingertips forward. And then begin to let the hands come down onto the legs or the toes. Close the eyes and breathe into your forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold down, letting the chest come in towards the thighs. Maybe bouncing through the knees if that feels good, or using the hands to massage out the legs if there's some tightness found here. One more deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, rise back to center, swing the legs around and find your tabletop pose. Hands coming under the shoulders, knees coming under the hips, and draw the belly button in towards the spine, getting a flat back. And let's warm up the spine with our cat-cow movements. So as you inhale, bring the gaze high, drop the chest low, open up the front of the body. And exhale, arch through the spine, chin coming in towards the chest for cat pose. Inhale back to cow. And exhale, arching into cat. Go ahead and take this motion with your own breath at your own pace, flowing from cat to cow, opening up the front body, and then opening up the back body. Inhale. And exhale, come back to center, walk the hands forward just a little bit, drop the shoulders down, keep the hips high and find your puppy pose. Opening up through the chest and the shoulders. Spread the fingertips wide, deep inhale here. And open mouth, exhale it out. One more deep breath in. And exhale, slowly roll onto the forearms, drop the hips down and find your Sphinx pose. Lifting through the crown of the head, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, opening up through the core muscles. Open mouth, exhale. One more deep breath in. And exhale, we're going to release the head down onto the forearms, just letting the chest come down onto the mat. And then bend the knees, Lift the toes towards the sky, and we're going to take prone windshield wipers, laying on our bellies, slowly dropping the feet from one side back to the center and to the other side. Slowly finding some movement in the hips and the lower back. Inhaling and exhaling. Take a moment to breathe here through your movements, opening up and allowing the body to be heavy into the mat. One last deep breath, inhale, and exhale. Bring the feet together, let the knees come out wide. And let those feet come heavy towards the mat, getting a deep stretch in the hips. Inhale and exhale, creating a diamond shape through the legs. 2 more deep breaths here in this posture. Inhale and exhale, maybe moving the knees a little bit wider here in this stance. One last deep breath in and open mouth, exhale it out. Bring the knees back together, the toes long down the mat. Plant the hands under the shoulders and rise up into your upward facing dog. Inhale, opening up the chest. And exhale, bring the hips back onto the heels and find your child's pose. When you've made it, find your version of child's pose. Maybe keeping the knees together, or maybe spreading them out wide and letting the chest come a little bit closer to the mat. Maybe leaving the palms down onto the mat or rolling them open towards the sky. Close the eyes and take a moment here to breathe in your child's pose. Inhaling and exhaling. Allowing yourself to be still in this moment. Taking your time here to breathe. Inhale and exhale. And then we're going to slowly begin to tuck the toes and lift the hips into a downward facing dog. Spreading the fingertips out wide and maybe walking out your dog, bending one knee at a time, finding some movement in the backs of the legs. Inhale and exhale, and then coming still with the heels, let them fall down closer towards the mat, maybe making contact today, or maybe just reaching. And draw the chest in towards the thighs, opening up a little bit deeper through the chest, lifting out of the hands a little bit here. Inhale and exhale. Take the top of that right foot, plant it into the mat, and then slowly drag the right knee up to meet the right thumb, finding your pigeon pose. Inhale, open up through the chest. And exhale, slowly fold down into a sleeping pigeon, resting the head on the forearms. And we're going to close the eyes and just take a moment to breathe into this hip opening posture. Inhale and exhale. Slowly plant the hands back under the shoulders, lift the chest away from the leg and swing the left leg around, planting that foot on top of the right knee, and then maybe giving that knee a hug, or maybe slowly releasing it down onto the right foot, coming into double pigeon pose. Closing the eyes wherever you're at in this posture, sitting up tall, and open mouth, exhale it out. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here in our double pigeon. Inhale, open mouth, exhale. 1 more deep breath, really breathing into the hips. Inhale through the nose. And open mouth, exhale. Plant the hands, swing that left foot back. And then stepping the right foot back, coming into your downward facing dog. Taking another moment here to maybe walk out the feet, or maybe let the heels be still. Breathing into your downward facing dog. Inhale, reaching the hips high. Open mouth, exhale out. And then when you're ready, we're going to take the top of that left foot, plant it into the mat, and slowly drag the left knee up to meet the left thumb, and find your pigeon pose on the other side. Inhale, open up the chest, and exhale, slowly fold down into your sleeping pigeon. Close the eyes and let's rest here for a few breaths. Take 1 more deep inhale in your pigeon pose. And exhale, plant the hands under the shoulder, lift the chest away from the leg, and swing the right foot around, coming into your double pigeon. So planting it on the left knee, maybe giving the right knee a hug, or maybe slowly letting it fall down onto the left foot. Opening up through the hips, sitting up tall. Inhale and exhale. 2 more deep breaths here in this posture. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth, let it out. And last deep inhale here. Open mouth, exhale. Plant the feet in front of you. We're going to give those knees a hug, and then slowly release the back all the way down to laying on your mat. And when you've made it, reach the fingertips all the way back, toes reaching forward, getting a long body stretch, opening up all the way through the body. Inhale. And exhale, pull the right knee into the chest. We're going to grab the big toe and slowly start to extend into that hand. Opening up through the right leg. Maybe you stay here in the center, maybe bending at the knee or fully extended. Or maybe you slowly let that right foot fall down to the right side. Left arm comes out long. And get a little bit of a hip stretch in this posture as well. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Great job. 1 more deep breath here. And exhale, slowly bring that right foot back to center if it wasn't already. Give that right knee a hug. And then switch out the legs. Left knee comes into the chest. And grab the big toe. Slowly extend that foot into the hand. Maybe staying bent with the knee, or maybe fully extended today. And maybe staying at the center, or maybe letting that foot fall to the side. right arm coming out long, and breathing into your leg extension. Inhale and exhale. Great job. One more deep breath in and open mouth. Exhale. Bring that left foot back into the center. Give that knee a hug. And then send the toes long down the mat, finding your final resting posture. Back into Shavasana. Letting the arms come down by the sides. Closing the eyes. And finding some stillness to close out our practice. And while we're here, I want to leave you with some questions today to dwell on, to spend some time in prayer, reflection, maybe journaling these out. Do you find yourself fighting for recognition in your life, maybe in your workplace, or in your relationships, or other areas? Have you tried giving God your day-to-day tasks and use those things to serve Him? How can you give your whole heart in the season you are in right now? God, thank you for every opportunity that you give us to serve you and to serve others in our life. Lord, help us to see where we can lay down our own recognition or the praise of people around us and come low like you did. God, you have spoken great things over us, and your eye is always on us. We always have your attention. So help us to lay down that desire to be seen and serve others, loving them in the same way that you do. God, we thank you for every opportunity you give us. Help us to not take them for granted, but keep you at the forefront of our minds. Let the way that we work with all of our heart in every season just show and radiate your love. We love you, Lord, and it's in your name we pray. Amen. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for our day 2 of this series, and I look forward to seeing you next time.